All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men in God. Why most men fail their New Year's resolutions. So I saw this ad, I think it was an Apple Watch ad. It said most people give up their New Year's resolutions by January 9th. So, you've got like 3 more days. If you go past that, you're going to be ahead of most people. But there is a reason most people fail, and it's not because you don't have the right plan. Okay, it's actually something totally different, and we're going to talk about what that is and how to address that today. So my name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and life coach for high-achieving Christian men to help them live more grounded in God, more strong in God. So looking forward to this episode today. So wins from guys in my program, what's now the Grounded Leadership Program, guys are sharing more hugs and kisses with their wives. Super cool. Enjoying time together. For me, this week, I was able to ask for help and get help when I needed it from my wife, which is not always easy for me to do, so that was a win for me. Guys are feeling just stronger, more grounded in God in general, more strong in God. I was also able to take some time alone when I needed it, feeling overwhelmed. And we'll talk about that today. Part of this is just learning to tend well to emotions. So I was able to do that, feel way better after doing that. So what are the top New Year's resolutions? So the top New Year's resolutions guys have exercising more, getting in shape. This is actually not just for men, but for everybody. Eat healthier, lose weight, save more money, or improve their financial, outcome. Improve mental well-being, improve relationships. All right. So those are the common ones, right? And again, like about 70% of people give up by January 9th. So why is that, right? So if you read like Atomic Habits or you read some of these things, a lot of it is just like, well, you need the right habits, you need the right plan. So like with health, well, you just need to have the right workout plan. You need to get rid of all the bad food in your house, put good food in. You need to turn exercise into a habit, right? Start small, build it up, okay? You need to turn eating healthy into a habit. Okay, yeah, so I'm only buying these kind of foods and getting this kind of thing, right? And it makes sense, and it is true. Like you do need to. The thing is, right? Everybody kind of knows what you need to do. You need to eat, less calories than you burn. So, however that works out for you, you need to not eat junk food. Everybody knows this, but very few people can execute on it, right? We'll talk about why. Wealth, it's the same thing. Okay, so you need to have a clear savings plan, stick to it, have a budget, stick to it. Okay, not hard to understand. Spend less money than you earn, invest what you save into something that's going to grow long term. Okay, that's really all you have to do. Relationships. Okay, this one is a little bit murkier for most people. How do I improve it? Well, you spend time with people. I think most people can give you a very clear definition on this, but we're going to talk about what I believe really helps improve relationships in this episode. But again, a lot of people think, well, let's just have a plan. It's just communicate better. That's probably what people would say. Okay, you want to improve your relationships, learn how to communicate, build a communication skill. Okay, that is kind of true, but it's not really. That's not really what improves relationships, okay? So the truth of the matter is, it's not the lack of a plan that's the core problem in any of these things, okay? It's actually the inability to tend well to your own emotions, okay? I promise. So let me give you an example. Eating's a great one. So you may have the perfect diet plan, right? But then you come to work and someone brings cookies, okay? And you feel inside yourself the desire to eat that. You feel hunger, you feel, oh man, that's my favorite cookie. So you feel that desire, and then you just eat it, right? Like, oh man, I broke my diet. Well, now I might as well just keep eating because I broke my diet, right? So actually, when you ate that one cookie, that didn't ruin your diet, but then you felt disappointment, and instead of tending to that disappointment, saying to yourself, oh, like it's okay, that's one cookie, it's all right, it happens. Let's keep going with our diet, right? Talking to yourself kindly, making a plan. Instead of that, letting yourself feel that disappointment, tending to that emotion, you just covered up that disappointment by eating a bunch more cookies, okay? You're eating a bunch more junk. So that was the problem, right? Your inability to manage that emotion well, or to tend to that emotion. I don't like manage anymore because we want to take care of our emotions, not just like treat them like, numbers or money or something that can be managed. They need to be tended like something living, because that's what we are, that's what feelings are, something living. Okay? Or how about this? You had a hard day at work, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling sad, you come home and you eat a treat to feel better. You probably didn't even register that you were feeling stressed or sad, but you ate a treat to feel better because that was going on inside you, right? Now, eating treats, it does work. It increases dopamine, so you feel good. It lowers cortisol, so you feel less stressed, okay? That's why we're drawn to these kind of treats and things like that, okay? Let's do another example. So again, right, it's not that you didn't have a plan. You had a plan, right? Now, the big Atomic Habits guys would be, well, if you had nothing in your house, right, you wouldn't have done that, because it would have been hard. But here's the thing. If you don't learn to manage your emotion, you would have just gone to the store and bought a treat and eaten it, or gone to a fast food restaurant on your way home and bought yourself a shake, right? So the problem isn't the plan. The problem is your inability to tend well to your emotions and using things like treats to tend to your emotions, because it does work in the short term. It just doesn't work in the long term, okay? So with wealth, right? So we decided to save, we got our perfect plan set up, but then we see something that we want to buy. We want it, right? Or someone tells us about an investment that's going to get us to our goal faster. There's just a little bit of extra risk with it, okay? So in these cases, right, we pursue excitement, we pursue dopamine, right? We're like, oh, I want that, right? And so you go get it, and now you've blown your budget, and then probably again you feel disappointed. You're like, well, I already blew it, I might as well just keep going, okay? And then you spend a lot more money, and then you're like, I already messed up this one time, like this budget doesn't work, and you give up on it. So again, you feel disappointed, and instead of tending to that disappointment, because look, buying one thing or making one bad investment, although sometimes one bad investment can kind of put you in big trouble, but depending on how much money you put into it. But again, right, like it's inability to tend to emotions that's causing you the trouble. And again, like if you mess up on the plan, like it's gonna happen, right? And so tending to that emotion, saying, hey, like it's okay, it happened the one time, it's all right, you're still a good person, we can still do this, it's okay, right? It's normal to feel disappointed, that's all right, let's take a walk, let's talk to somebody, right? That's tending well to yourself, to your emotion. Then you don't go down that path of covering up disappointment with more bad decisions, okay? So how about for relationships? So we're like, oh, I gotta be kinder, I wanna be more patient, I wanna listen more, I wanna communicate better. And then our kid disrespects us, right? You say hello to them, they don't say hello back. We feel hurt, and then we hurt back with anger. Well, fine, right? You can just move out, right? I've done that kind of thing with my kids. Wife doesn't appreciate us, so you come home, you're hoping for a big thank you. Instead, you get, oh, hey, can you make dinner? And you're like, oh, man. So you feel hurt, you feel unappreciated, and then that night you go turn to pornography because you're feeling hurt, and that is kind of soothing. Pornography, masturbation, it's soothing, okay? So, and then you feel bad, I can't believe I did that again. And then, instead of tending to that disappointment, you turn to pornography again to cover that disappointment. So again, the core issue is just we're treating our emotions with excitement, with food, with stuff that boosts dopamine, instead of tending to them, okay? We're using food, we're using excitement, we're using anger, we're using pornography. So, and again, these things, they do work. So you're not stupid for using them. They do provide a temporary relief for uncomfortable emotions. They boost dopamine, they lower cortisol. But in the long term, they do not get us healthier, wealthier, or having better relationships, okay? So the core skill you actually need is tending to emotions. Okay, this is what most people don't have, and this is why most people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions, right? So here's a better way, right? So let's say we had a bad day at work, we feel sad. So step one is just noticing it, feeling sad. Most people can't even do this, right? It's just because we haven't practiced it. Excuse me. So first thing is just notice, man, I'm feeling kind of sad, I'm feeling kind of down. Check in with yourself. Then talk to yourself kindly. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're feeling bad. Man, look at all this stuff that happened. Yeah, that was a hard day, right? And even just doing that, you're probably going to start feeling better already. But then what you can do from there, maybe tell friends and family. You walk in, you say, hey, honey, like I had a bad day today. It's a hard day. Could you just kind of listen to me for a minute, or could you just sit with me? Ask for that support. Pray, talk to God. Maybe you're like, I can't really listen right now. Now you're feeling sad again. Talk to God, right? Pray. Say, oh man, God, like that was a hard day. I need some help. I need support. Please be with me, right? Go get some exercise. That always helps me. It helps a lot of guys. So again, just like finding ways to tend to your emotions, but probably the biggest part that most guys miss is just noticing it and talking to yourself kindly. If you'll do that, most of the time you'll tend to that emotion well. Okay? All right. So now, if you follow that, right, you've tended that emotion and you've improved relationships. Okay? Instead of eating a treat or getting upset with your family or turning to pornography, right, all of that. Right? That doesn't tend to the emotion, it covers it up. Covers it up, emotion goes away for a little bit, then comes back stronger than ever, right? This way we tend to the emotion and then we're going forward in a good direction. Okay? So kind of gave that example. But yeah, so let's say, again, this like your wife hurts your feelings, there's no appreciation. Again, notice it, I'm feeling unappreciated. Talk to yourself kindly, well, hey, like I can appreciate myself, I put in the work, I'm doing a good job here. Talk to God, hey God, like I'm feeling unappreciated today. And then God a lot of times will, at least for me, will kind of remind you, well, hey, like just yesterday she told you you're doing a great job. Like, oh yeah, maybe I'm just a little sensitive today. Do some exercise. And then again, once you're feeling calm, look to solve the problem. Once you're calm, not when you're going to be screaming and mad, oh, you don't appreciate me, like you don't do anything for me, I do everything around this house, right? I would do that in my mind at least a lot. And it doesn't solve anything, right? But if I can get calm and say, oh, actually I didn't feel appreciated, and it actually has been a while since I've been appreciated, and I would like that. So then when you're feeling calm, you're like, hey, I'd really like it if maybe more often you could just tell me you appreciate the work I do. And then when you phrase it that way to your wife, she's probably like, okay, yeah, sure. Instead of like, well, you never appreciate me, and then she's like, I do, and it's turned into a mess, right? Because you've tended to your emotion, and then you have looked for a way to solve it in a calm way, and asked for what you want in a calm way, right? So yeah, you've tended to emotion, and you've improved relationships, instead of throwing a tantrum, acting passive-aggressive, those kind of things, okay? So look, this is a skill that needs practice. Tending to emotions is something most men and really most people have never learned or practiced, okay? But I'm telling you, it is the key to making real changes in your life, lasting changes, to become healthier, wealthier, have better relationships. This is what you need to do. So come in and join us in our Grounded Leadership course. It opens in February. Join our email list to get notified, strongmen.io. Just fill in your email there. You'll be on our list to let you know when it opens. So we want to have you there. We want to learn this skill so we can have just better lives, be healthier, be wealthier, have better relationships. I'm telling you, the main skill is tending to emotions. So we're going to learn how to do that really well in the course. And we're excited to see you there. All right. Stay strong in God, men. We'll see you next episode.